Butch, 2 weeks in now, how do you think everything's going as far as fall ball?
You know, the people I give an account to that really are asking, I feel like I need to keep updated. There's so many good pieces, talent, you know, with 21 returners and 20 new guys, but there's so many good pieces. But at the same time, I know we're needed. We need an entire fall. And you're not guaranteed anything, because I think everybody likes their team on paper in our league, the way we're resourced right now and the way we're fighting to get players and being able to get players to campus. So I feel like we're adequate from that standpoint. I think it's the gamesmanship, and I just had a conversation with the team where, like, it's not fair because we're in the fall and we got a lot of new people and we got a long way to go and we're guaranteed nothing, because for me, in my mind, I'm thinking about comparing an at-bat to Sonny DeShera.
Yeah.
An SEC, you know, all SEC Conference Player of the Year type season where he just had an amazing year with consistent at-bats.
Right.
And when I don't see that, but that's what our program does. The competitiveness on the mound of a Keegan Thompson. I want that. I'll never forget that. And the first guy that finished the game for us when he was here at a consistent level, Cody Greenhill. When I don't see that, what I want our guys, like, I'm not mad at you, but that's what I'm comparing it to.
Right.
When you think it's not good enough right now. Right now it's not good enough, and we have talent. But I'm not getting Sonny DeShera's at bats. I'm not getting Keegan Thompson's killer look on the mound right now. I'm not getting the bull mentality that the game's over when I step on the mound.
Right.
And we have to work on some of that. I'm not getting a Blake Rambush that's absolutely a demon every time he walks on the field with that grit, or a Judd Ward running through walls and sacrificing his body. And you know, I've always talked about like a Chris Rembert, but he's going to have to wait and do it all the way to the finish where I talk about him with other teams.
Right.
And we do have some of that grit, but we got to draw it out of 20 new people, and we have to bring it every single day that you have to prepare your craft. It's not just showing up. You absolutely have to be held to a standard of some of these guys that have absolutely worked a certain way, performed a certain way. And I can put Ike Iverson in that deal now, where every at-bat's that personal, where he didn't give away at-bats, and he also had the confidence that whoever was standing out there, regardless of who it was, that his intention was to have success and get a hit. So you're catching me on a day where it's good. It's great. That's why we need to dig in October, November, and the fall is extremely important. I'm excited we have pieces, and now all this clay's got to be molded into a real ball club, and I'm thankful for these awesome examples that I just mentioned. It gives us something, it gives us a standard to chase.
Madrigal, how did his surgery go? And is there a possibility he could be back next year?
It's tomorrow.
Okay.
And Dr. Emblem, you know, will do a great job with him. I spoke to him last night because Dr. Emblem was in town, so that surgery's tomorrow. Eddie's had one on the other knee a couple years ago, so I think, you know, family come from California to be here with him, and Anthony, our trainer, because he's the best in the business, will be with him for the entire process tomorrow. So he's been through this surgery before. This is the other knee. I think it's different. I've only had two in my entire career. And Guevara and Madrigal are kind of back-to-back here. Guevara was able to come back in the spring at like the 6-month mark. Wasn't 100% for that deal. So what does that look like for Eddie? They're different players.
Right.
Eddie's at least was a first baseman. We love his approach as a 24 home run guy and an amazing hitter with experience. So even if it came in, he's not having to get back to play short or third. That might be the same deal, maybe that 6-month mark, if this surgery goes well, that maybe he can come back and the team's in a good spot. And if he swings that bat and has some productive at-bats, maybe he can absolutely be a DH if that's a need, or get a big hit when we need it if that's a requirement. So that'll keep a carrot out there for him to chase, just like we did with Guevara. But we'll put our head down. We'll try to get him in analytics. We'll start like I did when Cooper McMurray was broke down. We're going to put Eddie over there at first base some and get him coaching and try to keep him in the frame with hopes of having a great surgery tomorrow and hopefully rivaling to come back. He's a 2-year eligibility guy, so it's not like we would get him limping back and play it and then end his career.
Right.
He can limp back, be part of this, make a difference in this club, and then, you know, have another year.
Okay.
So I think the thing is, let's have a successful surgery. Let's get rehab started. Let's get his mind plugged into some things that can keep his mind growing and think about the game a different way. But I just hate it. The older I get, I hate these injuries because I know he committed to our school and was excited to be here. I know he could make a difference and make our team better. And he's an awesome guy. So I just, the older I get in my career, I want it to be because they're not good enough. I want it to be because of other factors, not because they didn't get a fair shake or had an injury that knocked them out that challenged their year.
You taking a look at Bub at first base, and how's that look so far?
Yeah, and we did some last year too, and we wound up playing him exclusively in the outfield last year, but he's a great target to throw to, and he's a good glove, and he's left-handed. I always love left-handed first basemen for several reasons. It's easier to throw to second on the pickoff or when you do some things. And he's just that type of athlete. So I don't think it's one to report on that like Bub's moving to first.
Right.
But he was in the hopper some last year. He probably played sparingly a few times at first base. But I just think with Eddie going down, there's just a little bit of urgency to make sure that everybody test it, because that's what injuries do, is make everybody potentially have to move. And it kind of helps us for our squad games when you have to put two teams on the field now. But it also is a reminder that we got to be ready to maybe play secondary positions if injuries happen or doubleheaders come into play. We need to be prepared.
All right, so week one, you had some pitchers and hitters that stood out to you. How about week two?
Yeah, Jake Marciano, left-handed, it's a smooth-looking starter, a really good changeup. He's competing great, just in the strike zone enough, and that's what we're trying to do with our guys. But he was in the strike zone. It's kind of a smooth delivery and change speeds well. I liked him a lot. Mason Cook was good for us today. Just one inning of relief, and that's what's so hard about these guys. Like, I had a better feel in position players, and now we played 6 squad games. I'm just starting to get a feel for some of the pitchers, and this one inning stuff's hard. Again, I would say the talent year over year has continued to get better from Coach Tieford's first year to last year. I think it has a chance to even, that could be the biggest growth of our team from last year to this year, is with that pitching continue to grow. Last night at the football game, we had 11 guys that entered professional baseball that we honored last night after the first quarter, and I'm like, there's a lot to replace in 1 year. That's as much as we've ever had to replace. And there were some positional player pieces really moving. You think of Irish, you think of McMurray, etc. But there's so many good ball players, and you feel too deep there that I think will be okay there. That's probably where we have to focus the most. But I really think the possibility, if we can get some pitchers really figuring out who can pitch in front of somebody and behind somebody, who can get a game started well, and who can finish a game. You know, Hetzler did a great job for us last year, kind of being that guy without a true traditional closer. But I think the biggest growth to make our team, the biggest mover for us to be this pitching staff in Coach Tieford's third year.
And swinging the bats this week, who's stood out there?
Mason McCrane.
Again,
the freshman, he just absolutely banged a couple home runs today. He had the low line drive double down the third base line that was hit hard. It's such a tough barrel angle to create that you have to stay on a pitch to hit a ball the other way. Bristol Carter is just 2 weeks. When you look at all 6 squad games, I've seen a bunt. I've seen him do some things defensively. I've seen him go backside with 2 strikes. I've seen him steal a base, and maybe has been our most complete positional player. Chris Rembert heated up today. You know, he's kind of like Rembert's unfair what I do with him, because Rembert will get a hit or 2 or single or something, and I don't advertise it a whole lot, because I expect him, it's kind of like I act like they're supposed to get, 5 hits and 3 at bats. But he had a hard double today. A ball went out of the ballpark. He knew it as soon as it hit his bat. And nobody runs the bases harder and works as hard every day. That's why he's improved so much defensively. That's why he was MVP of Team USA this summer, is just his grit, and he's worked every day. And he stacked so many days together that he's got some special things going. I was excited about Rembert today. all the way around. We're getting flashes and good at bats, and I know I'm leaving guys out, but those are the guys that are starting to stick out.